Hi, everyone. I'm so happy to see y'all. Woo! All the way from NOLA. Yeah. All right. So, welcome to Kyla Cares National Diabetes Support Group Meetup. This is our first go round. So happy to have y'all. My name is Irielle, Nurse Irielle. I actually am a family nurse practitioner. I've been a diabetes staff nurse practitioner with Ochsner Medical Center for the past 12 years. So I'm so excited to be the co-host with Kyle from Kyla Cares. Yes, he's the founder, and you'll be able to touch and go with him with all the icebreakers and question and answers. We have amazing speakers. I'm so excited. Woo woo. All right, so let's dig in, y'all.
Irielle, I'm so pumped as well. Like, we have the coolest guest, and I just can't wait to dive into all things food and talking about like nutrition and how to make it both fun and functional for all the different lifestyles that we lead, each and every one of us that are like tuned in right now. Um, we have registered dietitian Anna Walter from Eat Fit and the amazing Mila Clarke of Hangry Woman joining us as well. So, I mean, we have a very special show, y'all. I hope y'all are ready. It's a real treat.
Yes, I am so pumped up. It's like so cool. Like just I've been waiting, anticipating. We just talk about like an icebreaker first. We
Yeah.
just want to see what's what with
But,
y'all about. I'm sorry.
well, Ariel, like you said, this is like the first national virtual meetup that we're doing, and I feel like we must acknowledge the fact that you have been doing it for the last 10 years on your own. It's just been you and all the OGs at Ochsner
Um,
that have been joining you and supporting you and just leaning into all of the amazing guidance you've been given. And when I say OG, that has nothing to do with age, by the way, because this is a multi-generational crew. OGs at Ochsner, like Derek, who's repping for the millennials. I mean, me and you, Ariel, we holding it down for Gen X, and of course, our favorite generation, the Boomers. They are always supportive, always ready to show up and get information, like our favorite Beyonce said. So, but yeah, let's get to this icebreaker. I mean, since we are talking about like food, I thought let's chat about like what some of our favorite weird food combinations might be. I mean, I'm Ariel's in New Orleans. I'm from New Orleans. I'm in New York right now, but I'm the only lonely plant eater in my family. So whenever I like roast a sweet potato and throw some black beans in it, I always get like a major side eye. Like, what is that? Why are you doing that? That makes no sense.
No, that's so good.
I think so.
I'll share mine. Mine is like cottage cheese and avocado. Everyone
Mhm.
thinks it's gross. So good.
Now, I want y'all to drop some of your weird combinations in the chat too, and don't be shy.
I'll tell you mine is goat cheese and cherries.
Ooh, goat cheese
Mhm.
and
Okay. Just
cherries.
like on some crackers, or like I don't know, like I could dip it in like celery and eat it that way. Like mine's so good.
Yes, yes. Do we have some takers in the comment section?
Yeah, I love these answers in the chat. Somebody saying they love
Side eye
sweet
view.
potatoes and peas, beans.
No, I think that's a read. That's a side eye to me and my sweet potato and
Oh, I got you. I got you. Definitely the side eye. Okay, got you. Makes
oh my
sense.
God.
I don't
Even
have any weird like combinations. I don't think. We have some people here with me. Anybody in the audience here has some weird food items they love?
When I was on vacation, people put, oh, pardon me, peanut butter inside of a celery stick and put raisins on top, and they called it something bugs on the log.
Okay, so she was saying the bugs on the log.
Is that what it was called? I'm not sure what that's called, but it was interesting.
Bugs on a log.
Yeah, I've heard it called. I live in Texas, so I've heard ants on a log.
Oh, yeah,
Mhm.
ants.
Yeah,
sorry,
ants on a
yeah.
log. Yeah.
I guess it sounds better, ants than bugs.
I was just in Mexico City, and there were fried crickets everywhere.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Interesting. Did
I-
you try?
I did. I'm always looking for new sources of protein, so crunchy.
I mean, we can't talk because we have Nutri-Rats and roadkill here, so it's all kind of weird stuff in the bayou.
Let's be honest. Well, should we get into our first presentation for the day?
Yes.
Miss Mila
It's
Clarke.
me. All right. It's me.
know-
Let me share my screen with all of you and just let me know if you can see it. Let's see. And I don't know if it's up or not.
Not yet. Cal, they getting you. They said plant-based will eat crickets.
They're eating you
Look,
up in the comments.
I'm trying new things. Don't knock me.
Oh my God, it's hilarious. Well, thank you all so much for being here today and for listening to what we're talking about in terms of food. I want to first introduce myself. My name is Mila Clarke, and I live with a type of diabetes called latent autoimmune diabetes in adults. It's a slow progressive type 1 diabetes that is often mistaken for type 2 diabetes, especially in younger people. I was diagnosed when I was 26 years old, and so I've been living with diabetes for almost 10 years, which is kind of crazy and kind of wild. And when I started out, I was really having, just these hard conversations with different healthcare providers about how I couldn't eat the foods that I grew up with and the foods that I love and that are a part of my culture. I come from a family of Jamaicans. They were all born in Jamaica. I'm the first one in my family born in the US. And so things like rice and peas were staples for me. And I say were, they are staples for me. Things like red fish and cabbage and curried goat and, oxtail, like all of these really delicious foods. And when I was diagnosed with diabetes, one of the first conversations that I had when I was talking to a dietitian was, you can't eat these foods anymore. They're not going to work for you. But here, let's talk about what you do like. And here's maybe a list of things that are going to be better that you can replace some of these cultural dishes with. Thankfully, I think it's a lot better now. I am in school to get my master's in nutrition and to hopefully eventually become a registered dietitian. But I think a lot of those conversations have changed and for the better. And now we're really talking more about the things that we can do to be able to enjoy the foods that we love and still balance our blood sugars at the same time. So through all of that, I had worked for a really long time as a recipe developer, writing articles for USA Today and Eating Well and WebMD, Everyday Health, really just kind of sharing that there is this joy that we can find with food and still living with diabetes. And that, diabetes is something that's going to be a part of us once we know that we have it. But we don't have to throw out and sacrifice every single thing that we like just for the sake of balancing our blood sugars. And we also don't have to think in terms of you have to take all of these like all of these things away, that really there are things that you can add to the meals that you are eating and that you are consuming, and that you have this ability to be able to still enjoy the foods that you love. So I started a blog called Hangry Woman. And then after that, I was asked by a bunch of people to, like start a community. Like, we are loving your recipes. You're cooking things that we are really excited about. What can I, like, how can I talk to other people about this? And so from there in 2023, I started the Glucose Guide community. And Glucose Guide is, I think, like one of my most favorite things I've ever done. It really was born out of wanting to provide a safe space for people with diabetes, a non-judgmental space where no question is off limits, where you don't have to feel like you're doing something wrong by asking a question, but where those things are encouraged, and where really building community and having other people to bounce ideas off of and to talk to is super important. And so within the community, we have over 10 countries represented. It's wild to me that so many people with diabetes have been able to come together. We have over 1,100 members in the group. People spend a lot of time in our app. And so, like, most people who are coming are really looking for tools and advice for improving their health overall. I also think that the really special thing about this community is that there are no ads in it. It's free to anyone who wants to join. And it's an app on your phone. So if you ever have a question or you ever have something that you want to check in about, it's really easy to tap open the app and to search for what you're looking for, or to have conversations with other people. We also do weekly one-to-one coaching events. And so we get a group together and we talk about different topics within diabetes that members have asked to learn more about. And then there's also this really nice opportunity to get to know other people who are in the same boat as you and who understand what you're going through. And so it's such a fun place to be. It's such a like wonderful little kind of microcosm of people with diabetes and who are all living through and going through similar things. And I also just love the fact that people find friendships here. People get really excited about some of the features that we have. People are very competitive, so they love our leaderboard and how you can level up and earn prizes by engaging with other people. That you get push notifications with encouragement, that you're able to view in-app articles that are evidence-based, very specifically about managing diabetes. They take into account the things that people are talking about and the trends that are out in the world, but giving you the realistic perspective and the scientific and evidence-based perspective that's really easy to understand. I think the other thing that is really wonderful about the community is that we just have so many helping hands and so many people who love to share, love to encourage. One of those examples is we have a group that shares, we made a group chat within the app that people tap into to share their fasting blood sugar readings, because it's one thing that they're really excited about doing and sharing, because sometimes in the evening you think you have everything like totally level, totally good, and you wake up in the morning, you're like, whoa, what happened? And so people love sharing their fasting blood sugars because they feel like that means they had a really good achievement at dinner and that they did something really right. And so it's really cool to watch people kind of walk in and celebrate themselves in that way. Additionally, I was just talking to Kyle about this, but a couple of weeks ago, we introduced a feature called Nutrition Assistant, and it's so awesome. I think we have all seen those food tracking apps that are out in the world, and we've seen all the things that you can do. You can scan your labels to be able to get the nutrition information. You can log your exercise. But what I have always noticed, and I also in 2020 wrote a book called The Diabetes Food Journal, and it's literally a food journal. What I always noticed with food tracking is that sometimes it would not take into account blood sugars. Like that's just a very niche number. And it's something that you're probably only looking at if you're a person with diabetes or you're living with prediabetes. And so that usually wasn't indicated along in a blood sugar log. And what I love is that we've added blood sugar logging features alongside meals so that you can see what your pre and post blood sugars are. So before your meal, if you take your blood sugar to kind of find out what level you're at, and then that 2 hours after, or that, postprandial blood sugar, you're able to see those compared to what you ate. And it gives you a good breakdown of swaps and suggestions that you can use to maybe balance out your blood sugars a little bit more. So it's been awesome to create something like this. It also has a meal planner. It formulates your grocery list for you based off of the meals that you choose, so that you don't have to go and like parse through all the recipes and the ingredients for it. It just does it automatically. Right now we have over 1,000 diabetes friendly recipes in the app, which is so awesome. So like you don't have to go very far to look for different things. And then you also have the features of being able to take a picture of your plate and get a guesstimation of the ingredients on your plate, and how those different foods potentially affect blood sugar, and why. So it gives you really the knowledge that you need to know about different foods. And one of the things that I have found so often, especially living with diabetes for this amount of time, is that eventually those things kind of just start to be like natural knowledge to you, right? So like I know a specific size of an apple that I buy. I like to buy those giant Honeycrisp apples. I've eaten them so much that over time I know that like about this size of a Honeycrisp apple is probably 35 grams of carbohydrates because it's so massive. And so those things start to become second nature, which is really awesome. And this is a tool that can really help you visualize. And one of the pieces of feedback that we've gotten, especially like as people enter in their goals and they start to kind of look at like, okay, what am I actually doing? And starting to recognize portions and read labels. A lot of the feedback that I have loved hearing has been, wow, this changed my perspective a lot on what I was eating and how I was eating it and what it was doing to my blood sugars. And now I can make that connection between, oh, I ate this and my blood sugar did this thing versus I ate this and my blood sugar did this thing. And so, aside from just being a logging tool and kind of keeping that food history together for you, it's also teaching you at the same time so that you gain the confidence to be able to make the decisions that you need to make every day with the foods that you're eating. My big goal for the community was really that people learn, and that it really helps to build that confidence over time with diabetes. And so a lot of these tools are there to do that. But I think also, just like this kind of amazing support group, it's another place for people to be able to connect and to be able to know that, you are not alone in what you're going through. You're not alone in living with this condition. There are people who understand you, and it is such a hard condition to live with, but you can do it. And there are people that are there to back you up. So it's, really great to know that the community does serve its purpose in that way, and it's open to everyone and anyone. A few of the other ways that I always hope that people will stay connected. So I mentioned our weekly virtual sessions. We have a huge recipe library within the app with tons of free recipes that you can bookmark and keep in your account. In April, we're starting our community challenges. So little things that we can do, in the community, members will always hear me say, you can make small changes for these like huge outcomes. And so if you can take one small change and you can do that consistently, it equals up to really big things. And so our community challenges are going to focus on really small things that you can do during the day. tracking those things, understanding why they do or don't help you, and getting habits to really stick. I think that's a huge goal, is really that, like, when we take on a habit, it actually sticks and it's something that we can do for the rest of our lives. I mentioned the leaderboard, that we have like some friendly competition within the community where people love to engage, because it does mean prizes for them at the end of the month. And it also means getting a little handwritten note from me just to say thank you for being a part of the community. We also have mobile push notifications. So every day I send out a little daily affirmation just to help you get in a good headspace about tackling the day. And we also have a weekly email to catch up, just in case you missed anything and everything. You're able to catch up in that one digest. So there's so much. I feel like I probably just like gave you a fire hose of information, but there are so many different things that you can do within the community. Again, it's called Glucose Guide. The community is in the App Store and in the Google Play Store, and you can also access it via any web browser, so you don't have to download the apps to be able to access the content. And that's all that I have for you. I know I said I would go pretty fast, and if anybody has any questions, I'm here to answer them. But I, overall just want to say, the biggest things that I hope you take away, from me sharing about Glucose Guide, and also from this session today as a whole, is that you are allowed to enjoy food. You are allowed to eat the things that you love. Sometimes you have to change and tweak it just a little bit to be able to make sure that your blood sugars act the right way once you do. But food is so essential to our lives as humans. It's essential to our socialization, to our cultures. It connects us to each other. And so you can still find food joy however you find it. And sometimes that just takes working really well with someone who can give you those options and who can help to teach you how to build those new habits. And I think you have some great people at your disposal to be able to do that. So I appreciate everyone so much for listening and for being here. And thank you so much.
Oh my God, thank you so much. First of all, you're amazing. What you created, the features on the app, amazing. I got the app, I use the app. Been so data, sugar, log component of it. I mean, it just like establish goals. Seek out a plan just by that. And there's such a need. People
Kyle, we're having issues hearing you.
Hello.
Yeah, there's feedback, like something is covering you, a little muffled.
Is that better?
Yes.
A little bit, yeah.
All right. Irielle, you jump in.
Mila, I think you're amazing. I just, we have a lot of questions. Like, I have people with me live here in person. But on my end, as a clinician, it's like the biggest thing is patients say, Irielle, I need you to give me like a 7-day meal planner. Like, tell me a guide. Like, I don't feel like having, like, sometimes like we'll route people to diabetes.org food hub, but then it's like, I know our next speaker will be speaking on their resources, but I feel like the way you have the features in the app, it just flows very well. And I'll be happy to share this with my patients moving forward, because this is a very sought after. And the ironic thing was I had Jamaican food yesterday.
Please tell me what you had.
I had some chicken curry with the peas and rice, and it had some kick to it. And they said the jerk chicken's even more of a spice. So I was like, oh, this was some fire to this. I'm like, wow. So And I had split it with my husband, so portion control, right?
Yeah, and I want to go back to what you said about, and I think like Anna can speak to this probably much better than I can. But I think at first when people are diagnosed with diabetes, like the first thing that you hear is, okay, just change the way that you're eating. Like that's what's gonna change the way you eat and exercise, and that's gonna change everything. And so the first question that people will have is, well, what do I do? Like, you just told me to change everything, but you didn't tell me what to change. You didn't tell me why I'm changing it. You didn't tell me how I should change it. And so people end up feeling lost. And I would say, like, clinicians also should really consider sending their patients or having a referral to a registered dietitian, because that's going to be the person that can really identify how you can move forward to both balance your blood sugar, but also incorporate the things that you love, and give it to you in a way that is doable for you. One of the things that like I always notice, especially like as a health coach working with clients, is if I give somebody the list, they're never going to do it. Like if I am like, here's a list of 5 things to do, they're just going to be like, cool, thanks. And like, they're going to walk away. But if they're active in participating and they're saying, you know, like, well, these are the things that I really love, and these are the things that excite me, and here's what I get excited about doing. And then working with them one-on-one to say, okay, well, how can we change this and fit this? And knowing that it's their idea, like they are, and it is their idea. It's not me feeding it to them. It's them saying like, these are the things that I really like. And it's me kind of helping them organize and say, okay, well, how does this fit into your life? And what barriers are we going to find whenever we start to try and do this? And so I think like just having those like specialties in your back pocket, like having a registered dietitian work with somebody who's being told, change everything that you eat is going to help someone be way less frustrated, but also feel more confident about how to move forward for longer. And it'll help them be less lost, which I think is always the goal. Like as soon as someone's diagnosed, it's really hard to catch on with all of the things that you have to do and change. And so the more support that's there, the better it is really for the person on the other side in the end.
Wow. And I mean, the glucose guide really does offer that. So, I mean, it's so amazing. I mean, Mila, you're just one person. How did you even think to create this?
You know, it's kind of this thing where, and I jokingly tell people this all the time, but like I'm both, or maybe 3 things. I'm 3 things. I am impatient, I am overly confident, and I have, you know, just like a lot of creative ideas. And when I was looking for things for myself, I was kind of like, oh, this is something that I'm not seeing, and something that like I wish I did have, but I can't find it, or I can't find a version of it that I really think is like good enough to spend money on. I can't find a version of it that I think I'm going to stick with and like actually want to do it. And so it was really just kind of like, well, if I can't find it, I'm going to create it, and I'll probably have some bumps along the way. I'll probably not do it right. And I'm lucky that like, you know, again, the overconfidence, I like reach out to people and I'm like, hey, I see you're doing this thing in this field. Can you like talk to me a little bit more about, you know, like when I wanted to develop the meal planning feature, I talked to some registered dietitians and I said, what should I consider when I'm like providing these different recipes? Like what different things should I look at? What do you think people will want in terms of preferences? What do you think I shouldn't include in there? Are there any resources that I could pull from? And so like one of the things that I really love about the apps, both of them, are that, you know, I was able to use a lot of evidence-based information to be able to build these tools. And that was really important to me also. Because like, again, I think Anna can probably speak to this, but there's so much nutrition misinformation. And I didn't want to be a person contributing to that in this way. I wanted to make sure that people actually had good information. And so even though I'm just one person, I love research. I love digging in. I love like testing and breaking things. And so, it seems like it happened overnight, but I think the community app probably took 3 years to build, and then the nutrition assistant probably another 2.5. So it's definitely been things that have been like ongoing forever. It feels like forever in my mind, but it finally is here and people really like it, and that makes me really happy. But also there are just like not enough free tools and resources in the world. So especially in diabetes, like it's so expensive for us to live with the condition already. So trying not to add any extra burden was also something that was a really, really big deal for me. And I knew that if I gave it to anyone else to do, the objective would be to make money and not to be helpful. And so I wanted to make sure that like I could keep that spirit of being able to pay it forward and give back to people.
Yeah, well, that's awesome. I mean, like you point out, it's so difficult because, like when you're first diagnosed, and even just throughout, the experience of living with diabetes, one is often told to change this and change that. Don't eat this, don't eat that, as opposed to, giving tips on how to incorporate culturally appropriate foods that are cultural important to many people into their diet in a way that doesn't impact them so negatively. So kudos to you. Thank you so much. Irielle, I saw your hand was up. Did you have
I heard my church hand finger up. All right. So I just, everything with technology is just kind of hard. So is your app on iPhone, certain Androids? Like what devices?
Yeah, so it's both on Androids and on iPhones. It's also a web-based platform. So if you have a browser, if you have Safari, if you have Firefox, if you have Google Chrome, you can access it that way too. And that was another big part of importance to me, is I didn't want it to be inaccessible because of technology, because of the technology someone has. So like literally if you can Google, if you have an internet connection, you basically like you have the ability to use this resource.
Nice. Well, we'll definitely be sending out links to the app so that people who've joined today can find you, because it's amazing. It's an amazing resource, and the recipes are delicious.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Mila. Thanks for joining today.
Thank you.
It's such a pleasure having you here.
Take care, y'all.
All right. So up next is Anna Walter White with EFIT. Irielle, you and Anna have worked together for, a while now. I think Anna actually an OG on with the support group as well. She's been on quite a few times, hasn't she?
Yeah, so it's been fun because Eat Fit, their main person, Molly Kimball, she has her own podcast. And I've had several people come as speakers, actually, or some people branch out on their own. So Anna was with us a whole year, so I'm thankful to have her. And she's gonna like change it up each topic time that she comes in, like 3 or 4 times throughout the year. So she already family. So hey.
Thank y'all so much for having me. That is a tough act to follow, but I will share my screen and we can get into it. And y'all just let me know when you're seeing the screen.
There you go.
We got it?
Got it.
Okay. Okay, my topic is smart snacking. So just a little intro. Hi, I'm Anna. I am an Eat Fit 318 dietitian. For those who are unfamiliar with Eat Fit, we are a nonprofit through Ochsner. We work with restaurants, food trucks, grocery stores, really anywhere food and drink is sold. And we highlight those healthy menu options. So we kind of take the guesswork out of healthy eating. And we're statewide. I don't know if I said that, but I'm actually based in Shreveport. And then we have a dietitian around the state in each region. I am a wife to my husband Jacob and a mama to my baby girl Ellie. She's 16 months old. There's a picture of her right there. And I'm a professional snacker. So, nutrition's immediate impact. For optimal nutrition, obviously you want to maximize your energy. This is important for really everybody, but diabetics also, stabilizing blood sugar and hormone levels, minimizing cravings, maintaining healthy weight, and getting better sleep. Who doesn't want that? And then suboptimal nutrition, you have low energy, you're irritable, cravings, fluid retention, indigestion, reflux, impaired sleep, all the terrible things. And then to maintain optimal nutrition, you want to focus on frequent fueling. Recommended is like eating smaller meals daily as opposed to like 3 large meals. I don't know if that's something that some of y'all focus on, but that is something that I try to incorporate. Minimizing added sugars, of course, and refined carbohydrates, and emphasizing fiber, protein, and healthy fats. Of course, staying hydrated and limiting caffeine and alcohol. So this is kind of what I just talked about. Small meals or snacks every 3 to 4 hours. That helps to maximize energy and maintain stable blood sugar and insulin levels. And then it also minimizes cravings. Okay, snacking principles. You want to choose your snacks wisely. Snacks don't always have to be like snack foods, but you do want them to be snack portions. Think about timing. You want them to be screen-free. Really, all meals should be. I know that like there's nothing better than cozying up on the couch and watching, in my case, trashy reality TV. I don't know what y'all's guilty pleasures are, but that's mine. And then pay attention to your portions. Eat when you're hungry. You just want to listen to your body and stay hydrated. A lot of times when I think that I want a snack, I'm just thirsty. So I'll go fill up my like hydro jug or whatever and see if that helps first. Okay, building a healthy snack. Carbs give us energy, so you want to choose like fiber-rich carbs. When the focus is fiber, you will choose a more nutrient-dense carbohydrate. So then protein and or healthy fats keep us feeling full and satisfied. So here are some snack ideas. Pairing a half a banana with 1 to 2 tablespoons of peanut butter. This is going to keep your blood sugar stabilized. This will keep you full. Bell peppers and hummus, also another good one. Grapes and string cheese, or those little like mini baby bells, or the Laughing Cow cheese. And then bean chips and guacamole. Okay, this is just some basic label reading. You want to start at the top with the serving size, pay attention to the calories, and then things you want to limit would be saturated fat, trans fat, and sodium, and then understanding carbs. So total carbs are listed first, and then fiber is listed right under that, and then you have sugar and added sugar. And then get enough protein and healthy fats and use the ingredients list to clarify the label. So now we're going to get into some Eat Fit product recommendations. And I also have something that I can share with y'all. It's our Eat Fit shopping guide. We all collectively as dietitians went into grocery stores that are found all around the region, and we actually like handpicked all of these things in grocery stores that we would recommend the general public, but also people who have high blood pressure, heart disease, diabetes, all of the things. And it's broken down like produce, frozen foods, like everything. So I will send that to y'all if that will be helpful. But these are some product recommendations. So I don't know if I necessarily am going to read through all of these. Okay. Here are some bars with more sugar than protein, and I have seen these recommended a lot. I actually used to eat Special K bars before I knew what they contained. Cliff bars are usually known to be like a healthier bar, but they actually contain more sugar than protein. And then Special K bars and Lara bars. Here are some better options. So these have more protein than sugar. And there is a full list there. Like I said, these are all on our shopping guide, so I can send this to everybody. But there are a lot more options than you would think. Like let me see, our shopping guide is 13 pages long, so there's a lot of things. Okay, staying hydrated. I touched on this already. Fatigue is one of the first signs of low-level dehydration, and thirst is often misinterpreted for hunger. So they say to aim for half of your body weight in fluid ounces daily, plus more if you're exercising and sweating a lot, or just living in Louisiana and sweating a lot. Non-caffeinated sources of fluid. So you can do water, sparkling water, club soda, tea, herbal tea, even coffee, vitamin water zero, body armor light, milk and milk alternatives, protein and whole fruit smoothies, and then broth and bone broth are all good options. Limiting caffeine. Most major medical organizations recommend 300 to 400 milligrams of caffeine daily. So 1 cup of coffee is equivalent to about 100 milligrams. This was crazy to me. A grande Starbucks coffee is 330 milligrams. I could take down like 2 of those in a day. So that was shocking. And then 1 cup of green tea is about 30 milligrams. And then these are some of our Eat Fit resources. So on menus around the state, you will see our little, it's been on every slide, our little seal. It can be orange or black and white like that. Those are labeled, Eat Fit menu items are labeled with our seal. And then we have a free Eat Fit app. It has nutrition facts of all of those dishes, plus pictures. There's restaurants. It geolocates to where you are. So you can pull up restaurants nearby and click and see what's around. We also have the shopping guide. Like I mentioned, there are recipes coming. Weekly Eat Fit Wellness Bites newsletter. We also have an Eat Fit cookbook and a zero proof cocktail book. We do an Eat Fit King Cake during carnival season. We have our Alcohol Free for 40 program that just happened last week. Participants will sign up. They get before and after metrics, lab work done, everything. Before the 40 days, you go free, alcohol free for 40 days, and then we take all of your metrics again so you can see the difference. And then we have WGNO segments, and as Irielle already mentioned, Molly's Fueled podcast. If y'all are interested in that, here's a little snippet of our Eat Fit app. And then our Eat Fit criteria. So we focus on whole grains, no refined starches, little to no added sugar. So we aim for less than a teaspoon of added sugar in all of our dishes. Highlighting fruits and vegetables, lean proteins, heart-healthy fats, and moderate sodium. These are our cookbooks. You can buy them at eatfitcookbook.com. And that is my contact info. If anyone has any questions that they think of after the presentation or anything, feel free to email me and I'll get back to you. And yeah.
Thank you, Anna. That was great.
Oh.
I mean, you made so many great suggestions. But I mean, one of the best is like just hydration alone. People, I think it's one of the most understated sources of just keeping things flowing in the body. So, thanks for that. Uh, what? I don't know, you or Ariel, why is too much caffeine so harmful?
Well, of course, like what Anna was saying, like is will dry you out. She probably might have mentioned. And so, for every cup of coffee, you should have water after, and a lot of patients don't. And then being a diabetic, it's just gonna make it so much worse. And you already have your sugars high, then you could easily have an acute kidney injury, especially in the summer months. And patients are at higher sugars and they're drinking that and not really at least doing 4 bottles of water, 16 ounces a day for, 64 to 80 some ounces. And so we see that a lot. And in the aging population, we see that, people have a different routine when they retire. And our older patients, they don't like to drink water. And sometimes they do one meal a day. So it's like, how do you keep yourself aging gracefully? So that's the part, like, I had that talk, of course, being an RD, and I know you have these talks about hydration. I ask my patients as well because certain ones who may be a LATA, like Mila and Kyle, or the type twos, they have their issue that they deal with. They may be on drugs that'll push out sugar through the urine, like the SGLT2 inhibitors for Jordians and ones like that. And then we're looking at some of our aging type ones who may be on those drugs as well, from nephrology to kidney specialists. So it's very key: water, 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 water. And, they have apps and all these things and pushes, but you don't want to have acute kidney injury, have ketoacidosis, and just go downhill that way. Your kidneys are delicate already, so you want to preserve them. And it's water is free, I guess. It's so much stuff that's going up in price points, but there's debates on all of this. But get your water.
So true. And I think that it makes it easier to like put it in a fun cup and like add lemon, add lime, add orange, like just jazz it up. You don't have to drink just plain water all the time. So
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go get that cup J-Lo had at the Super Bowl. Come on, it's a party. Anna, what are some tricks people can incorporate, like when they're eating out, that can help making healthier choices easier?
yeah, well, I mean, depending on what region you're in, we have a lot of Eat Fit restaurant partners. So if you see our little Eat Fit seal next to any dish on a menu, that is like a dietitian approved dish. So everything is in balance as far as sodium, carbs, calories, everything. Like these are dishes that are recommended to the general population of people who do want to eat better, but also diabetics, also people with high blood pressure, people with heart disease. Like, so that is something. And then portion control. Like entrees being served to us are like 2 times what they really should be. So, like Irielle said, even splitting with your husband or like splitting with a friend or asking for a to go box, taking home half for lunch tomorrow, like that's a big thing too. Um, and then just looking on the menu for like the healthier choice, like, a grilled whatever is going to be better than fried. Maybe not taste better always, but like it's going to be the healthier choice. So,
Gotcha. Well, thank you. Yeah, it's funny. I find really just give examples of what like healthier means, because that's a moving target. I know in my family, I think fried shrimp is considered healthy.
right. Yeah. And like healthy doesn't mean just salads and stuff too. And like if you download our app and look at like some of the dishes, you'll see like there's all kinds of stuff, soups, tacos, like there's so much stuff that you can eat that's not always thought of as healthy, but like it still is. So it doesn't have to be boring. Like,
Right. Yeah. That's the
Um,
thing. Let people know that you can still enjoy your food. It doesn't have to be boring, it can still be
yeah,
tasty, but everything in moderation,
of course.
Yeah,
That's my motto for sure.
for
what I
sure.
what I saw that I really like was, I don't have a background obviously in nutrition, but I talk about nutrition with my patients, and I've learned so much just being in the field and from y'all's app, and how you can go on a website browser and there's like a 7-page grocery list, and y'all went from condiments to just meat to every little thing. And I thought that was great because, like you were saying, like some people, like my patients, we'll look at smoothies, we'll look at different things, we'll Google and look at stuff during the visit. And the bars, which you're talking of, that just blew my mind. Yogurt, certain yogurt, it's like y'all's app is very
Yeah.
great and to the point with getting you to the right brand.
Yeah, 100%. And you just reminded me, I'm going to put this in our chat if we're able to share that with them. This is our shopping guide. Um, and yeah, like you said, it's broken down. Like, it took us a long time to put this together. So it is broken down per category. We give like brand specific recommendations. Like, I use it personally. It's super, super helpful. So if you ever have a question, like, that is a great resource.
Yeah, that's amazing because there's so much tricky information out there, and even the packaging, like
Yeah.
the way in which like a lot of the packaging is designed is just tricks.
For sure.
Have people overloading on carbs and sugar and all the other things that are just hiding in our food. So like these lists of like healthier options and foods that doesn't contain all those additives is so amazing. So thank you so much. What cities is Eat Fit available, or is like finding restaurants? Is it only in New Orleans, or are you cities as
Yeah,
well?
we are statewide, so it can be found in New Orleans, Baton Rouge, the North Shore, Acadiana, Monroe, Shreveport. I think that's all. Yeah.
Nice. It's quite a few.
Yeah.
Well, sweet. Thank you so much, Hannah.
Thank y'all so much for having me.
Thanks, Anna. Thank you.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.
Irielle. That was fun.
That was fun, and it makes me want to eat a snack.
Irielle, how many people do you have here with you today?
Right now we have 5.
Oh,
It's the 55 plus group. Yes.
look, come on.
And I have one new patient that came up with her friend. So I gained a patient, and
Nice.
some of them in the audience are, let's see, 3 are ladder type 1s actually, and two are type 2s. So
Gotcha. Well, hello, everybody. Thank you for I mean, it's so cool. I mean, Irielle, you're doing God's work, and
no,
like
thank you.
you're so giving to all the amazing people that you are just helping to stay healthy. So, kudos to you
No, thank
and
you.
all the other providers out there like you that are so
Yes, definitely.
dedicated to what you're doing, because I mean, it is important, and you're just helping us live better lives.
Yes,
Quality
definitely.
of life is important, and when you feel good, it's just not a good thing. So, thank you.
My pleasure.
This time went by fast.
What was that, Kyle?
I said the time went by really fast.
The time went very fast. I actually like this app, and I have gotten
Yes.
some people text me and said they're in Facebook, they're in Instagram watching this, and YouTube. So 3 different streams
Yes.
they are getting this. So that's great.
Well, we have coming. We have we have so many guests in the arsenal that are coming on in the next few months from all across the country. Honestly, I think I started making the point earlier that Ochsner was like the foundation. Ochsner, New Orleans, was like the foundation of this this group starting, but now like connected with so many hospital systems around the country, and they're all joining in different cities around the country. It's really really cool to be connecting with so many people in that way that are living with diabetes, and also like the clinicians that are caring for them. So I'm so excited.
I am too.
Really
This is
thrilled
long
about the
overdue.
guest.
Huh?
Yes. Yeah.
What did you
I
say?
said, I said, I'm really thrilled about the guests. There's so many amazing people in the community that are doing really cool things like Mila, and some other people that'll be coming on in the next few months. So, uh,
Yeah, because the
yeah,
next one is April 10th. So yeah, so
April 10th, please tune
yes.
in and come ready to play, bring your comments, and yeah, I can't wait for the next one.
Same here. So it's going to be every second Thursday. And once we have all this, I know the biggest thing was about recording. And so now we're living in so many different spaces in the internet. So it's exciting because that was the biggest thing. Our other platformer was tough. So I'm so ecstatic to be part of Kyla Cares. Like it's dope. It's amazing. We could touch diversity, urban side of things, the young, old, everyone. So I am stoked to be on the board. I'm happy to let us expand to the national level. I think it was time. Like this is my 10th year, and it was just anniversary. You know, they make an Annie, and you're like, yes, like this is beautiful. I'm serious. I mean, Kyle will make you cry because I mean, when he has an animation for type 1 kids, and for him to name nurse Irielle on my birthday, I'm born November 1st, so the start of diabetes month. For him
Oh,
to think of me that way and stay connected how he has, it's just an honor. And he's just helping me grow and get out my comfort zone. And so, you know, with dealing with diabetes, you do have those different roadblocks, and you may feel you have a lot of barriers and different things you hit. But I mean, you got a whole community now, New York,
oh.
Detroit, NOLA, everywhere. A big old
Yes, it's
family, you know, Southern hospitality, but we expanding. So it's like, and Kyle is amazing. He's so humble. I mean, I'm like so honored to, you know, be his clinician and to be truly a friend of his. And for him, all the like philanthropy moves and just everywhere he's touching, he's just a pillar. Kids look up to him. I've seen how, you know, at the conferences, like he really is like that amazing person. He really is that person. So I mean, the founder of somebody like this is just a true testament of just what it needs to be. You know, you wish you met more people like him, to be honest. Um, and so he living it and dealing with it day to day, and to actually just give of himself and time. I mean, the team members here are amazing. I mean, we had some like, you know, glitches and little things there, but I mean, we're here, y'all. 2025 been crazy, but we here. So
we
we
are
didn't stop.
here.
We didn't stop. So
Yes.
I am so thankful. I mean, social gatherings for that to be done, and just for sponsorships. I mean, Kyla Cares is just amazing, and I'm just so happy. Um, so I just want
Uh,
y'all to know that y'all are loved, and I know Kyle has more to say.
Ariel, thank you for all those beautiful, sweet, and kind words. And I throw it all right back at you. Um, honestly, yeah, I'm so excited, Ariel. We are, our connections to community is growing and like at lightning speed. Honestly, people are really to connect, and it's just really cool to open up this space and to be able to do that. So please follow us on at Kyla Cares on Facebook and IG. And stay tuned for one. Every second Thursday, we'll be posting about it, making sure people are aware when it's happening and how to log on and who's coming on to join. And we can't wait for the next one.
Yes. So I guess let's see who's coming on. I mean, this is going fast, y'all. Spring into Health is the topic. Brittany Santos, she's a registered dietitian with Ochsner. She is amazing. She has worked with patients who I'm like, y'all might have been that patient. You don't listen, you double digit A1C. She has the touch of love and no judgment zone is very key. And so you enjoy her. And Erin Matthews, she's a podiatrist and she's amazing as well. And she's been part of our family for a minute. So y'all are in for a treat next month. And it's just, I love the fact that in the past year and a half, we've been having 2 speakers. I mean, we need the resources, the pouring out. So I'm just excited, y'all.
Yes. Well, thanks again, everybody that tuned in. And Irielle, it's always fun having a moment to hang out with you.
Definitely. And this is just the start of something great and bigger. And y'all share, y'all follow, y'all make sure to share all of this. Kyla Cares. It's easy to find, right?
All the things. We're on all the platforms. So look us up. Well, see y'all later.
All right. Bye, everyone. Have a good Thursday.
Bye.
Thankful Thursday.